I'm just getting to the point where it's like we need to talk about aliens on this podcast. It's getting
Aliens
NASCAR. You know how many? Explain to him the
Every time.
conspiracy with this podcast and recording episodes.
So as to say
And
the A word.
Oh, please,
As to
please
as soon as
catch
we
me
say
up.
say
I'm
the
busy.
A
I'm busy.
word,
fucking lag.
some shit fuck up and it stop recording or it's lagging. Like I have paranoia right now every time I look at my phone and see it's not recording because I'm just like, bruh, I hope this shit is not the
It's
wrong
not.
thing.
Man,
This shit
hey,
just doing what it's
hey,
supposed to be doing, bruh.
Rondo NASCAR man. I don't know what the struggles of producing podcasts
Fuck
with
all that.
listeners.
No, aliens. Fuck that.
Aliens.
Aliens. We gonna
Let's
we
talk about aliens.
doing this. We doing this. I'm strapped in.
Let-
I'm buckled in. I'm ready to
I,
blast off. Pause. Let's
quick
go.
question, Rondo NASCAR P.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of the term USO? Do you know what a
Nah.
USO is?
What's
You've
that?
heard. Everybody knows what a UFO is.
Unidentified soaring objects.
No, good guess. No, not all jokes aside, good guess. So,
Sexual object.
so aliens,
Unused sexual or used sexual object.
aliens apparently pro by asses. So sexual. You're on something. All jokes aside, uh, USO is a real phenomenon. There's more USO sightings probably than UFO.
Ooh.
Ooh, here we go. You ready for it? We're going conspiracy theory
You ready
here.
for
It's
it?
our conspiracy. It's an unidentified submerged object.
Oh wow. Okay.
Submerged, not unidentified flying object. UFO. So an unidentified submerged object. There's been thousands of cases in history, and one of the most famous cases in history of a USO. You ready for this? Okay,
I'm backing off.
Anybody can go to the Smithsonian. I believe it's at the Smithsonian if you want to see it in D.C. Christopher motherfucking Columbus's journal log of when he sailed. Hold on, I'm not giving Christopher Columbus fucking praise. Please hear me out.
NASCAR P in the Smithsonian. Look at this.
When Christopher Columbus sailed from Spain, I believe, to America, and he wasn't the first motherfucker to discover America. It was the Vikings. Vikings were in America hundreds of years, if not thousands, before.
Look, and you not the historian of the pod. Here he go.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Break it. No. Break it down though. Break it down. I'm watching the movie right now. I'm visualizing what you're saying. So the
There's
Vikings really discovered America?
man, there's hundreds of thousands of physical evidence. The Vikings were here well before Christopher Columbus.
So you trying to tell me niggas wasn't here first? It's always somebody white.
So if you ask an anthropologist or an
I don't give a
archaeologist,
fuck about the race part. I just want to
Vikings,
kind of debunk all the bullshit because you know NASCAR. Black people be saying we was the first ones here.
I believe around 1100 AD, the Vikings, Norse, Swedish sailors, they developed a technology that nobody in the world had. The technology that they believed that they had was something called they used like a light crystal to I want to over explain this or unexplain this. This is actually, they've done documentaries on this. They had some kind of compass that they use like light refraction from the sun that they could navigate and orient around the world when nobody else could do that. So, with long story short, using the stars, compasses, sun, they didn't need maps. They could sail all over the world and never get lost. Now,
hold on. What? Hold on.
Vikings developed compasses, navigation techniques using stars, charts, and their ships around 1100 AD. They were the only civilization that could sail all over the world and never get lost. That's why Vikings at that time conquered the world. Now, if you were
some goat god shit right there.
They were very skilled warriors too and sailors. So what they do is they'll go to a kingdom and sail. Nobody can prepare for them. When they land, their weapons. Vikings invented, I believe, the weapon of the battle axe. Everybody used swords. When they Vikings, there was a term, berserk. When Vikings raided, they raided with battle axes and they just went berserk.
Oh yeah, they'll fuck you up. Ballistic.
But so they only had armies of hundreds versus armies of 10,000s, and they the fear and how their weapons and how they just ran up on the land, they took over fucking kingdoms.
They was like the Vietnamese.
They were like no. The Vikings were like the original
drugged up, coked up.
No. Like let's say Navy SEALs, Green Berets. They were like
yeah?
the original Navy.
On some stealth shit.
Stealth shit. They could go to any country unannounced. Nobody could know when they're coming. They're trained fucking warriors. Stealth. Their weapons. Their skills. They were good with the fuck they did. So, there's many Viking artifacts that carbon dated that are found in America. They're about 1100 AD, 1300 AD, well before Christopher Columbus. There are Viking carvings in stone. They're only like symbols that only they used that were before Christopher Columbus. So like all throughout the country, there's Viking carving, like not just fucking East Coast.
You got me.
There's evidence of Viking. There's Viking carvings, stone carvings. So maybe not in the middle of the country, but like East Coast, maybe West Coast, Alaska. If you think about the West Coast of Canada, there's a lot of Viking like Norse like colonies. Why is that? There's a lot of things named after like because the Vikings fucking colonized well before anybody else.
Why are we talking about
Vikings? That makes sense?
All right.
We're talking about aliens. Aliens. We wanted to talk about aliens. So we're talking about USOs. Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus is one of the most famous USO documentation where he logged in the journal when he was sailing from Spain to America for the first journey. I forgot which boat he was on. Was it the Pinta Maria? I forgot the names, but the boat that Christopher Columbus was on one night. I'm gonna be quiet real quick. I need to go to the kitchen to get a beer. 1 second. So one night,
strong like glue.
One night, so if you're on a ship, you're sailing across seas. There's dangerous things. There's always sentry guards. They're looking.
Keep talking. I'm gonna get my baby.
Okay, I'm back in my room. I'm gonna keep talking, Rondo. So, if you were a sailor at months for sea, you don't have radar, you don't have technology to sense storms. In the mid-Atlantic, at any time of the year, there's monster fucking storms. You don't ever fucking know. So it's very important while all the rest of the shipmen are resting and sleeping. It's a very arduous task. Sails, it's very strenuous to be a sailor and very scary. It's almost like you're an astronaut going through space. You don't know if you're going to make it to your destination or not.
Yeah.
So at about, I don't know, it was the middle of the night, maybe 1, 2, 3 a.m., the sentrymen who were on guard on the ship, most of the sailors were sleeping because they're on calm waters. They were part of the Atlantic. I don't know if this is Sargasso Sea. I'm going to get into Sargasso Sea another time. That's a very fascinating part of supernatural lore. Sargasso Sea is kind of connected to the Bermuda Triangle, but leave it out, go on a tangent. When Christopher Columbus, on the ship that he was on, his sentrymen saw what they described as because, in the times of, we can't describe electronic lights, the way they described it in the journal log on the ship. Rondo, you back here? All right, so Christopher Columbus' sentrymen, this is what I was saying. Well, I'll wait to get you back up. Okay. So, Rondo, I was just catching you up to at about 1, 2 a.m. I don't know what the time log is, but there's a journal in the Smithsonian of the sentrymen. It's written verbatim, black and white in the journal, that the sentrymen saw a ring of torches, flames, underneath the ocean by a calm sea, by the ship. It was a circle of flames under the water that stayed there for minutes. They were terrified, so they woke up, the rest of the crew woke up Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus attested in the journal, I saw the ring of flames under the water. It stood there for some amount of time. He's writing it when you're writing log entries, like a social worker or a counselor, you write objectively. You get hung for that witchcraft. What the fuck? Are you a witch? You summoned this? You gotta be very careful what you log. But in Christopher Columbus's log, his handwriting, he attested he saw it because he didn't want his sailors to be hung for like being crazy. And this is what it says in Christopher Columbus's log. I think it's in the Smithsonian. And there, I attested I saw. This is not verbatim. I confirmed what my crewmen saw. I cannot explain what I saw, but what appeared to be a ring of flames under the water. It stayed there for a certain amount of time. Then it rose above the water. A ring of torches. They don't know what electronic lights are, so they describe it as a ring of torches.